A helicopter falls from the sky, crashing right into the middle of a Williamsburg townhouse complex. Tonight, one person is confirmed dead, and News 3 has complete team coverage as search and recovery efforts continue. We do start tonight at 11 with that breaking news continuing to unfold at this hour. We know one person is dead in the townhomes where that helicopter crashed this afternoon, and state police are still working to locate and identify the pilot of that chopper. In just the last 30 minutes, the FAA has confirmed a helicopter similar to the one shown here was involved in the crash. It is an R-44 helicopter. The FAA tells us only the pilot was in that helicopter at the time of the crash. This all happened at the Bristol Common Complex on Settlement Drive, just off of Ironbound Road. This is video of the immediate aftermath sent to us by a News 3 viewer. You can see that crash sparked a massive fire in the complex. The first 911 call for the crash coming into state police around 4:30 this afternoon. Federal, state, and local first responders have been on the scene ever since. News 3's Samantha German starts our team coverage tonight. She has been at the scene all night. Samantha, what is the very latest out there?
Well, Todd, just like you said, the FAA just confirmed that an R-44 helicopter with only the pilot on board crashed into these townhomes here behind me. Now, state police say the confirmed fatality is not the pilot. Right now, firefighters are still trying to get hot spots under control. You can see them still working the scene here. Now, we now know that 10 units make up this building here that caught on fire, and at this time, officials say they are just trying to make sure everyone is accounted for.
We can confirm it is one fatal at this time. We are not sure about the pilot, if there was any passengers, the type of aircraft. Once the fire department makes the building secure, then the FAA and NTSB will go inside and try to find the aircraft.
State police say at approximately 4:35 this afternoon, they were called on reports of a helicopter crashing into a residential structure here at the Bristol Commons complex. The impact of the crash caused these townhomes to catch fire. Some neighbors that we spoke to say they actually heard a winding noise, metal crashing, and blades going through a roof. And then they felt the ground shake.
That's when it exploded. And it was just like a ball of flames. And the building went up within 5 minutes of it hitting.
I ran towards the roads. My girlfriend ran the other direction, actually towards that building, and she yelled out, and when I turned around, that's when I saw just the flames.
Now again, you can see this is still a very active scene here at these townhomes. Now the cause of the crash is still under investigation, but state police say they are planning to be out here on scene for the next 2 to 3 days. Live in Williamsburg, Samantha German, News 3.
Samantha, thank you. To recap what we know at this hour, at least one person dead inside those townhomes where that R-44 helicopter crashed this afternoon. State police telling us they are still in the search and recovery stage right now and still trying to identify and locate the pilot who was the only person on board the helicopter. We do know there is substantial damage to the townhomes, and state police do expect that investigation will take several days. We are continuing to gather more information. For breaking updates, check this story on WTKR.com, where we are posting the latest details. You can also download the News 3 app to stay up to date with the latest breaking news and follow along with the newest updates to this and other stories. You'll be able to get breaking alerts as they come in to the News 3 newsroom. Get it now at WTKR.com/apps. And stay with us right here on News 3 at 11. We'll have another live report coming up from Williamsburg in just a few minutes. Turning now to the weather and taking a live look at downtown Norfolk. Plenty of people got outside today to enjoy the cooler weather, but the strong winds are all thanks to a tropical storm churning just off the coast. Let's send things over to meteorologist April Loveland. She is standing by in the Toyota First Warning Weather Center. So April, it now has a name, Tropical Storm Chris. What's the impact we're going to feel?
So we're really not going to see any direct impact, so that is great news for us, but we will see some rough surf and some dangerous rip currents, which we've already been seeing out there, and we've already been dealing with those gusty winds. So we're continuing to track the tropics. So we first have Tropical Storm Chris, which will give us that rough surf, and we are also keeping an eye on the remnants of Beryl. We are just looking at remnants right now, but it could strengthen within the next couple of days as it moves into a little bit better environment, but right now not really doing a whole lot. So checking out the track of Chris right now, it has continuing to strengthen. We're looking at winds at 60 miles per hour, gusting up to 70. It's moving toward the east-southeast at 2 miles per hour. So it's been stationary all day. So it is finally starting to pick up just a tiny bit of speed there. And it is expected to strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane as we go into the day tomorrow. So we will be keeping an eye on that. We will see that strengthen. Now looking at the spaghetti plots here, this is good news because we have very good consensus here. All the spaghetti plots are very tightly packed, so that's something we like to see, and it is going to stay well off our coast. As we look at the remnants of Beryl, pretty much just chilling there. We're looking at winds at 40 miles per hour, gusting up to 50, moving toward the west-northwest at 26 miles per hour. So I'll continue with some updates on Chris coming up.
Now to a developing story. Friends and family continued the search for a missing Virginia Beach mother today. Bellamy Gamboa went missing exactly 1 week ago from Virginia Beach. On Thursday, police declared Gamboa a critically missing adult. The group met at the Haygood Shopping Center before heading out to search the woods nearby. People also spent time passing out flyers and talking to people at the nearby businesses.
We want her to know, if she's even watching this, that we're coming. So,
you got anything else?
We have her son's shoe today as a good luck charm, and then we have some pictures of she and the kids, so we're just ready, hoping today's the last day.
Bellamy has 4 children, and tomorrow will be her 40th birthday. A boat is at the bottom of the Warwick River tonight after catching fire this afternoon. Fire crews were called to the Denby boat ramp for that boat fire around 1 o'clock. When crews arrived, the 19-foot boat was fully engulfed by flames. 2 people were on board but were able to escape to shore safely. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Heads up on your drive to work tomorrow, especially if you work at Newport News Shipbuilding. The Huntington Avenue Bridge will be closing tonight to start a year-long project to build a new bridge. Currently, the Huntington Avenue Bridge is more than 100 years old, so it is time to be replaced. Starting tomorrow, Huntington Avenue will be closed from 39th to 42nd Street. All traffic will be rerouted to Washington Avenue. A new traffic light will also be added at Washington Avenue and 42nd Street. There will also be fencing to help pedestrians get to the crosswalks. That new bridge will be much safer for the heavy traffic, although some commuters say they are not looking forward to that extra traffic.
Well, I think it's horrible because the traffic is going to be awful, and the detour that they're suggesting is going to make it even worse.
Due to replacement, because it's so old, so it's obviously going to be safer, and it's going to maintain the same amount of lanes, but it's going to be brand new.
Construction is expected to take about a year to complete. Hilton Village is turning 100 years old this weekend. The planned community in Newport News was originally built as a halfway point between Virginia Beach and Williamsburg as part of the war effort to house shipyard workers. After World War I, the homes were sold to be used as private homes. Today, people can tour the village to learn more about how it was used back in 1918.
It's an important part of the American military story in World War I, in that Newport News, after New York City, was the second most important port for sending supplies and men to France during World War I.
The village will be hosting more events most days this year to celebrate turning a century old. We are just getting started here tonight. The rescue operations begin to get a trapped soccer team out from a cave. Still to come tonight, how many of the boys have been rescued so far and the dangerous conditions rescuers are facing. Plus, we are continuing to follow that breaking news in Williamsburg, where search and recovery efforts are continuing after a helicopter crashes into a townhome complex.
And from the Toyota First Warning Weather Center, we had temperatures that were well below normal for this time of year, mainly in the 70s. And I am tracking more below normal temperatures as we head into next week. We'll look at all the highs coming up.
News 3 continuing our team coverage of a helicopter crash into a townhome complex in Williamsburg. At least one person is confirmed dead. Jake Burns is in Williamsburg right now with the latest updates. Jake, what are you seeing out there?
Well, you know, this is an investigation that is going to take quite some time. There's still hot spots in this building, and fire and police are still trying to get them out so they can go in and figure out exactly what happened and what developed here Sunday afternoon. We do know that the FAA is saying that the pilot was the only person on board the helicopter, and there's a lot of people who are going to be displaced for the next couple of days at the very least, and a lot of people with a lot of questions as to what happened.
I'm right here. That's right there.
Brooke Sweeney was sitting upstairs when a helicopter buzzed over his building and crashed into the unit across the street.
That's when we heard the explosion. Just a loud boom. Everything in the house shook, and then everything went silent. I don't think it's a sound I'll ever honestly forget. I've been in bad car accidents. Even that wasn't as bad as this.
The helicopter crash happened at the Bristol Commons townhomes in Williamsburg, not far from the College of William and Mary. Virginia State Police confirmed one person was killed in the crash. As of late Sunday night, authorities are still searching for the pilot.
We are not sure about the pilot.
Officials say they're still not sure what caused the helicopter to go down. Investigators from the FAA and NTSB are on scene.
Right now, we're working along with FAA, getting information on aircrafts that were taking off at certain times and trying to make timeline.
The building the aircraft struck includes 10 residential units. Immediately following the collision, a fast-moving fire ripped through the structure.
It was scary fast.
Sweeney says he ran outside with his girlfriend and within seconds saw the flames.
I hear her scream out, you know, holy beep, and I turn around and that's when the place starts erupting.
Despite the devastation, Sweeney says many residents made it out of the burning building safely. Even one man who was feet away from the impact point.
He mentioned that he was about 10 feet away from it, and it happened outside. He was in his bedroom and it happened on the other side of the wall, and he was able to walk out.
While search and rescue turns into surveying for investigators here, Sweeney and other neighbors are helping the survivors, people whose lives are uprooted out of the blue on a Sunday afternoon.
I've offered them, you know, water, aid, anything to give them some support. So, because there's some people here that have lost everything.
State police are working with the property owners here to make sure they can account for everyone who lives inside this apartment unit. Again, state police say it's likely going to be another couple days before they wrap up their investigation here in Williamsburg. For News 3, I'm Jake Burns.
Rescuers began freeing a boys' soccer team from a cave in Thailand today, more than 2 weeks after they were trapped underground. So far, 4 of them have been brought safely to the surface. Meg Oliver has the latest.
In Thailand, rescuers are gearing up for the next phase of their effort to free a youth soccer team trapped in a flooded mountain cave. On Sunday, divers escorted 4 of the 12 boys back to the surface, a 2.5-mile journey through a series of dark and flooded tunnels.
You can't make a horror movie that would even compare, and I've been involved in cave rescue for 30 years, and I cannot even think of one that was this complicated.
After the 4 emerged from the cave, they were rushed to the hospital in ambulances. Officials in charge of the operation said they're hoping to bring another group of boys out by Monday or Tuesday.
The good news is that the first phase was successful. They've had an opportunity to show it works. It's still dangerous, but it's much better odds for the remaining kids to come out now because of those initial ones.
Before they attempt another rescue, the dive teams have to refill their oxygen tanks and replenish the supplies along the route inside the cave. Meg Oliver, CBS News.
Police in Milwaukee are looking for the man who punched a waitress in the face. The attack all caught on camera. The manager at the grill says the customer was shouting at his waitress because his food was taking too long. She told him to get out, and surveillance video shows the man punching her in the face and then going after the waitress. She pulls a handgun from her apron and that's when that suspect backed off and left.
Live from the Toyota First Warning Weather Center, here's meteorologist April Loveland.
It was another comfortable day out there today. Temperatures are pretty perfect, and it was a little on the breezy side. We'll continue with that breeze as we head into the overnight hours and into the day on Monday. That's all thanks to Tropical Storm Chris. We're also dealing with that rough surf and rip currents. That's going to be likely over the next couple of days, so just keep in mind those red flags will be flying. We are tracking a cold front that's going to move in Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's actually going to help to move Chris out to sea, and it's going to bring us the chance for some showers and storms by midweek. We are also tracking some below normal temperatures. Highs will be in the mid 80s as we head into the end of the week. So really not looking at too hot of a week this week. So that's good news. As we look at our highs today, normal high is 88. We saw 77 here in Norfolk, 77 in Virginia Beach, 76 in Melfa, 84 in Williamsburg, and 82 down in Edenton, 79 there in Elizabeth City. As we look at our high temperatures over the next couple of days, like I said, normal high is 88. Will be around 83 tomorrow, up to 90 on Tuesday. That's actually going to be one of our hotter days. And then as you can see, we're going to kind of cool down into the mid 80s for Thursday and Friday. So it should be pretty comfortable there. As we look at our forecast for tomorrow afternoon, 85 in Wakefield, 80 in Norfolk, and 82 in Chesapeake. Up to the eastern shore and peninsulas, we'll see highs around 87 in Williamsburg, 80 in Hampton, 79 there in Cape Charles. Down to Carolina, 84 in Ahoskie, 82 in Elizabeth City, and 79 in Manio. Checking out first warning radar right now, we're looking at mostly clean sweeps in our area. High pressure keeping us nice and dry. We do have a stationary front that is just off to the south of us. That's keeping Tropical Storm Chris away from us. As we get a closer look here, you can see really not looking at a whole lot. Nice clear skies out there. We are looking at a couple showers though, just to the south of Rodanthe, going over Hatteras there, and that's really what we'll be looking at the next couple of days, because that is where Tropical Storm Chris is closest to. So it is about 195 miles actually east-southeast of the Cape Hatteras right now. So what can we expect from Chris? This is what we can look at. We are not expecting any direct impact, so that is good news. The storm is actually going to stay well offshore. We could see some rough surf and the threat of rip currents, which we have already been dealing with, so red flags are likely well into next week. And we could also see some tidal flooding possible at times of high tide. And we could also see a little bit of coastal flooding as well, because we will be dealing with some of those higher water levels. So looking at our forecast as we go into the overnight hours, really not looking at a whole lot. Plenty of clear skies out there, plenty of sunshine throughout the day on Monday. Still going to be a little on the breezy side. We will see a little bit more cloud cover down in the Outer Banks, though, with that chance for a couple spotty showers. Same story on Tuesday. A lot of us will stay dry, but the Outer Banks could see a little bit more cloud cover and some showers. So as we look at our beach forecast for tomorrow, keep in mind red flags are being flying. We do have a high rip current risk. Rest of the forecast here, not bad at all. We do have some showers and storms possible Wednesday and Thursday. Temperature-wise, can't complain too much, I don't think, for July.
Absolutely. Tonight has just felt so good.
Oh, yes. Very comfortable.
Absolutely. Thanks, April. You can be part of the News 3 team. When you see breaking news happening, take a pic or video with your smartphone and share it with us 24/7. Email us at pics@WTKR.com. Upload it using the News 3 app or go to our Facebook page. You can also tag us on Instagram or Twitter @WTKR3. See it and share it.
The Nationals will be well represented at next week's All-Star game. We'll tell you who made the list up next. Plus, home is where the start is for Norfolk's Tony brothers. We catch up with the longtime NBA official to find out why the Seven Cities Pro-Am is a can't-miss event for his summers. Your Geico Sports Report coming up next.
Now, News 3 Sports with Mitch Brown.
As the Vegas Summer League heats up, there's no shortage of Hampton Roads hoopers making an impact on the circuit. Today, it was Dorian Finney-Smith. The Portsmouth native went undrafted in 2016, but he made his name right there at the Summer League. Entering year 3, Dodo is already showing signs of an improved 3-ball, and tonight he finished with 14 points on 6 of 9 shooting. The 7-5-7 Summer League, the Hampton Roads Seven Cities Pro-Am continued this afternoon. One of the NBA's longtime officials was in the house. Tony Brothers, a Norfolk native, still referees Pro-Am games here in the summer. Some might ask why, especially when you have more than 20 years of blowing whistles at guys like AI, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. But Brothers is passionate about his job, especially back at home.
When this first started, You know, I was just coming along at that time, and so everyone wanted to referee the games, and so I was one of those people that wanted to referee the games. And too often what we do is once we reach a certain pinnacle, we decide we're not going to do the things that got us to where we are now.
And that's not the case for brothers, and likewise for Suffolk resident Leroy Richardson. The two combined have 40 years of NBA officiating experience, but still find a way to lead officiating groups during the season here in Hampton Roads. To baseball now. A week from now, the All-Star festivities start for the MLB in our nation's capital. For the first time since 1969, the All-Star game will be hosted in D.C. Three of the Nationals' prominent faces will be suiting up for the 89th Midsummer Classic this evening. Pitchers Max Scherzer and Sean Doolittle were named to the NL All-Star roster. Meanwhile, Bryce Harper will make his 6th appearance, and he'll get his 5th start in right field. And with 21 home runs, he'll be competing in the Home Run Derby. A name we've become accustomed to seeing on All-Star rosters is Justin Verlander, the former ODU Aces, having another fantastic season at 35 years old. 154 strikeouts and a 2.15 ERA has Verlander in his 7th All-Star game in his career. Astros manager A.J. Hinch said, though, that Verlander won't pitch in D.C. because he's scheduled to pitch the Stros' final game before the break. Back to D.C. now. The Nationals bullpen currently out of gas. So who do they call in for relief? Mark Reynolds. Yeah, usually plays first base. He records an out, though, in relief. Call that Reynolds rap. Today was his first time taking the mound in his 12-year career. Miami, however, gets payback for last night's 18-4 beatdown and hands Washington a 10-2 loss today. All right, in Baltimore, the Orioles are skidding again. Hey, they've lost 5 straight coming into today, looking to avoid the sweep against the Twins. Yeah, that just didn't happen. Already 5-0 in the 6th. Hampton native Jake Cave knocks in a run with the base hit there. That makes it 6-0. Twins score 8 runs in the 6th inning alone. They win with no problems, 10-1. Baltimore in sole possession for the worst record in Major League Baseball. Finally, tonight's Sunday shout goes out to Brianna Daniels, a Virginia Beach native, once a basketball player at Norfolk State. Daniels is now blazing her own trail in NASCAR. Yesterday, she became the first African-American woman to work on a pit crew at the NASCAR level. This all happened from NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program that made a pit stop at Norfolk State.
So cool for her. So awesome. And another Virginia Beach guy, Mark Reynolds, coming off of a night where he tied a record for the Nationals on RBIs. It's like, oh, you need a pitcher? No problem.
I was surprised he didn't get an All-Star nod today just for that this weekend alone.
What can't he do? All right, thanks, Mitch. We'll be right back right after this. We want to keep you updated on that breaking news we have been following all night. At least one person is confirmed dead in this fiery helicopter crash. You are looking at viewer video from the crash that happened earlier this afternoon. Here's what we know at this point. An R-44 helicopter crashed into the Bristol Commons complex there off of Settlement Drive in Williamsburg, not far from Ironbound Road. We do know one person inside the townhomes is dead, and state police still looking to identify and locate the pilot of that chopper. Stay with News 3 for updates throughout the night. We'll post them on WTKR.com, and we'll have the very latest on News 3 starting at 4:30 this morning.
All right, as we take a look at your 7-day forecast, 83 tomorrow, looking dry. Might see a couple showers, though, on the Outer Banks.
All right, that's going to do it for News 3 on this Sunday. Thanks for staying with us. The news continues at 4:30 a.m. Good night.